In August 2024, 38-year-old Joanna Sione-Lauaki, Jo, was found dead on a remote beach near Dargaville, the victim of foul play.
So when we found out, we obviously knew something had happened. Someone had done something that.
Jo was a loving wife, a mother of 8, and a tireless supporter of her community.
She was always the lady that no matter what we had, she made sure we had everything. And she goes out and does that for not even just us, but for everyone else around her.
Her death has left friends and whānau shattered.
She was my reason for getting out of bed. Just feels like I'm living a life of emptiness, nothingness at the moment.
Four months on, Jo's loved ones are still searching for answers, no closer to knowing the truth. What do you think's happened to her?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that's the part that we battle with most, is that we just don't know what's happened to our Jo.
Joanna Sione-Lauaki's life was tragically cut short, leaving her whānau grieving and desperate for answers. They want Aotearoa to know how much she meant to them. They want to address the rumours swirling around this case, and they're determined to seek justice for Jo.
Oh, she was the most loveliest woman that walked this earth, I reckon. In my eyes, anyway. You know? No matter what walk I chose in life, she would always support me, and likewise.
For 21 years, Jared Sione-Lauaki walked through life with his wife Joanna. Together, they raised a big blended whānau of 8 tamariki.
To be honest, Jo was the best mum in the world. Bubbly as. Had a laugh that you could hear a mile away. But for me, it was her eyes, just big, beautiful, brown, sparkly eyes, and that's what I fell in love with.
That aroha held fast through life's challenges, despite tough childhoods and the heartbreaking loss of their baby daughter, Jodeci. Through sheer determination, they built a future as respected dairy farmers, with Jared winning multiple awards. How long have you been doing that for?
15 years.
What do you like about it? People say you're really good at it.
I don't know. It was the lifestyle at first, and then I just seen a window of opportunity to create something for us, so.
Yeah, go on, darling! Can't afford to get sick now!
Was she good in the cowshed?
I have to be careful about this question, because if I give the wrong one, I'll probably cop it. I taught her, so of course she was damn good in the cowshed. She was one of the best.
You guys were a great team, eh?
Yeah, I think she thought that she was the boss at some point. But in some right years she was. Very, very good with the cows, milking routines and stuff, but the outside stuff she didn't like that much, so yeah, I took care of all that.
The fencing and
Yeah,
stuff,
she didn't like that.
The boring stuff.
Yeah, she didn't like that. She'd do it if she had to, you know, but yeah. Very, very capable, and you know, when we started the family business and she took on something that she didn't really want, she did it anyway.
Sit down on your knees, eh?
And Jo did a lot. As well as helping out on the farm, She kept the home fires burning, running her big, busy whānau like a well-oiled machine.
Machama.
Joe's close friend, Aniripia.
Oh, she was such a beautiful mum. You could see how much she loved and doted over her girls and her boy and all of her tamariki. And she would often bring in other, whāngai tamariki as well. But her, just her love, it was a genuine love. It wasn't anything fake where you turn on and off any time. She was in it for the long haul, yeah.
When you witnessed the whole whānau, Joe, Jared and the kids, what did you see?
Yeah, always happiness. They were always laughing, and their children always came before, themselves sometimes, and you could see that they would work hard to make sure that their children were provided for. But when they were all together, it was actually quite funny to see, because often I'd be like, oh my goodness me, like so many tamariki, but they just made it look like it was easy. And like for me, I'm like, oh. But for them, it was just something that they naturally fit into, yeah.
Joe and Ani both attended Destiny Church, and together they became facilitators of Legacy Sisterhood, a kaupapa to support other wahine to overcome their challenges.
Her lived experience was really pinnacle, especially for wahine Māori, or wahine just in general, who had been through trauma themselves, who had been through, such horrendous things in their life. And Joe was able to relate from a place of empathy and just knowing how they were feeling, but also knowing that feeling of feeling trapped within that mamae. And so for Joe to have brought that forward to awhi, these wahine, was absolutely beautiful, because I knew in that she was finding her own healing. And when she was able to speak openly about what she had been through, that really just brought the best out of someone else, yeah.
I was uneducated, I left school at age 13, that's that.
At the same time, Jared was supporting tāne to live better lives through the church's Man Up kaupapa.
But as I stand before you now, I'm the most successful in my whole family.
Yeah. I found a lot of enjoyment helping other men and showing them a new path, I guess. And yeah, the opportunity to work alongside my wife was good.
And making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, big impacts, yeah. Yeah, we had pretty good reputation, I guess, for helping a lot of people where we're from.
How much is that needed in some of our whānau?
I think every family needs it, really. You need something, Home's where it all happens, so you got to make sure that's right.
I can do some very good tricks on here.
Home was happy for the Sione-Lauaki whānau, and Joe and Jared's kids were proud of their parents' achievements.
Yeah, 100%. They were amazing. Like, that's when I first saw them flourish, because seeing what they come from and experiencing it myself, because I was a bit older than the other kids, watching them in the church was so beautiful. And how they were to others, was like, they would
look at them and be like, bruh.
Come on now. But they were like, no, they were beautiful in the church, and everyone loved them. Everyone could hear them, everyone knew them. They were just beautiful to not just their family, but to anyone who's welcomed and they, just met them. So very beautiful people together, and they made such a good couple with family and homes when they did that. Just going into other people's homes and helping out and teaching them the tools that they have learned.
Woo! Yeah, burning it. Burning it, guys, burning it. Come on, Shana. You got it, girl, you got it.
The whānau was thriving.
Breathe in, breathe out.
But in 2022, their hard-earned happiness was suddenly ripped away.
Carry on, girl. Carry on. I got you. I got you.
What happened with your sister?
She was in a car accident the day before Christmas. So we found out on Christmas Eve that our sister had passed away. she was not wearing her seatbelt, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That is not normal for her to do.
Yeah.
And we've had to really put that out there because a lot of comments that the public were making were like, oh, she didn't have a seatbelt on.
It's her fault, you know, she should have done
No,
this.
because they were just going up the road back home.
Yeah.
So, but she had died because someone got behind the wheel on drugs, on alcohol, and started recklessly driving.
Jacinda, known as Binda Boo to her whānau, was just 19 when she was killed in a car crash, being driven by her boyfriend's father. He was supposed to be her sober driver to get her home safe. Instead, he was high on meth. Can you talk us through that, supporting Joe when that happened?
Sure. Oh. It wasn't the kind of support call that I was expecting. But for Jo, she remained strong in that. And so for me, I maintained my strength as well to make sure that she felt love and awhi at that time. But also the fact that she called me, you know, that was so beautiful. She could have called anybody, but she called me at midnight or that early morning when it did happen. That was a significant change for us because it meant that we drew closer in that moment of her tragedy.
Did it change her?
Yeah, I think those sorts of tragedies, they change people. You know, even though we may not feel that it does, there's always going to be a component of our lives that do change, yeah.
Were you worried about Mum?
Yeah, but she's a bit different. This lady's really, like, happy.
Yeah.
She'll show, she's really good at hiding things. She'll just make sure everyone thinks she's in a good place and she's happy.
Her way to block things out really was claiming.
Yeah.
And that's how we sort of knew, oh no, something's happening. Mum would never, like, she would always come to us happy, like.
Yeah.
Jo put on a brave face, but her big sisters Donna and Hope say she struggled with the death of Jacinda. What did she say to you about how she was coping?
No, she wasn't coping.
Yeah, she wasn't coping at all, yeah. She was just trying to keep it together for the kids, yeah.
Jared too was left devastated by the loss of his daughter.
For me, it was pretty traumatic. Yeah, I couldn't really get over that one.
And how important was it having Jo with you during that?
She made me feel safe and not in a, you know, scared way, but she just made me feel safe all the time. Because she was always there through all the good and the bad times and helped me through things that I couldn't help myself with.
Cinda's death had put strain on the couple's relationship, but they were pushing through. Then, less than 2 years later, on August the 1st, 2024, tragedy struck again. Can you take us back to the day that you last saw Jo?
Yep. Yeah. I didn't see her much because I was working, but she was just popping in and out. Seemed happy, bubbly. Let me know what she was doing. No.
Good way.
Makes me angry.
Yeah. But nothing unusual, just a normal day?
No, it wasn't a usual day. Usually she'd be around the house, but since baby died. Yeah, just struggled a lot.
Jo spent part of the day at the beach with the family dog. Later, she let Jared know she was heading back to the beach. With an early start in the milking sheds, Jared headed for bed before Jo got home, switching his phone into flight mode. When he woke up the next morning, there was a one-word text from Jo: help.
And then from that moment I was distracted obviously from work and kept trying to make contact throughout milking. Went home for breakfast break, kept trying, and then returned back to work. I just said to my boss, something's not right. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about milking though, eh? The cows have to be milked. So you went off and just decided to get on with it.
You kind of have to. Mm.
So did you pull out once you'd had a chance to think about it?
Yeah.
What then? What happened next? Where did your mind go to?
I knew where she went. I knew exactly where she would go if she went to the beach, so yeah, me and my girl went to look for her. Our dog ran to the day before she'd take all that day that she'd gone to the beach. She had took a photo, so we sort of had a rough idea where she was. And the dog went straight to sort of where they were.
What'd you find?
Absolutely nothing.
And once you came back from the beach, as a whānau, what did you decide to do?
I went straight to the police station.
Did you have a feeling?
I had a feeling that morning I woke up. She'd never text help for nothing, because she knows how busy I get, so if she flat battery or she'd let me know what was wrong so I knew what to take or, to go and help her, but yeah, the help message sort of really stirred my guts up a bit, yeah.
For sure. Hours later, in the afternoon, Jo's body was found by a member of the public on a different beach to the one she usually visited.
It was a bit hard when I got the call. I was actually doing my shopping at the time. I was down Pak'nSave doing my shopping, and I got that phone call. And my baby heard it, my daughter, and she just screamed. So I said, let's grab our shopping and let's go. It was hard.
We were skiing, and then I was on my way home, and then I got the phone call. She had gone. They found her. That broke me.
Did you have hope at the beginning that they might find you?
I had hope, but then I was shattered.
When you were told that she had been found, what did you understand to have happened?
I think we already knew what happened. Because we know our mum, she's not a person to go do something to herself if she's having a bad day. She's somebody that talks to us, a lot, about everything. So when we found out, we obviously knew something had happened. Someone had done something that night. Yeah.
And so that's what we feel has just happened to Mum. Mum was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And someone took advantage of that and took away our mum and everyone's sissy and auntie and cousin. So, yeah.
What do you think happened to her?
She was hurt. Someone
Someone
hurt her. When we identified her and we went and did her dressing, we could tell from her injuries how badly it was and how badly she was hurt.
We can now reveal that, unfortunately and sadly, the post-mortem results have determined that Jo was a victim of foul play. Our thoughts, of course, are with Jo's whānau and her family and friends at this time. And we, of course, are committed to locating the persons responsible for this and holding them to account.
What was the response from police like?
At first, good. But now, Yeah, I don't think too likely of them, actually.
Do you think they think you're a suspect?
Yeah, I do.
Jared's connection to Black Power has fueled speculation about his involvement in Joe's homicide. Many also questioning why Jared's phone was in flight mode the night Joe disappeared. That is one of the most asked questions online, is that you put your phone on flight mode. Why did you put your phone on flight mode?
Generally, sometimes the phone's too flat, you know, and I just flick it on, or I just don't want to be bothered, you know. Yeah, we get up, we literally get 6 hours of that, for me, sometimes less. You know, so you need as much as you can, and it just became a habit just before I dozed off to flick it down. You know, the alarm still goes, no one needs to get hold of me and I won't get disturbed, but yeah, apparently it's suspicious.
What time of the morning are you usually waking up?
3:45.
People may think it's our dad, but we can 100% tell you that it's not. And because of who he is, doesn't change him and doesn't make him any different to the pain he's going through, like us. Yeah.
That's one thing that's upsetting is too, is my dad's grieving.
Yeah.
Our dad's grieving, and it's not nice to hear people. But at the same time, I know people like to talk, they like to make their own scenarios, and that's something that we've had to learn to deal with. It's so hard because, you know, we just want to back, knowing us, because, you know, we stick up for each other and we're always there for one another, especially our parents. So hearing one of our parents get, like, told, you know, they did something to our mum, it's like, fucking hell.
Since Joe's death, Jared's given up the dairy farming he excelled at to care for the younger children. He says instead of receiving support from the community, he got the cold shoulder, eventually leaving the small town where the whānau had been living. And then there's the social media comments.
Those that know me knew that no matter what happened, I'd be there for my wife. And, you know, you can write whatever you want, but until the truth comes out, it's rubbish anyway, you know? My biggest regret is not being there to protect her, because that was my job as a husband, and as far as I'm concerned, I fucking failed her. I failed my daughter too. So, you know, next time you have something to comment, think about that. Yeah.
Do you feel ripped off with the cards that you've been dealt? Losing a baby, then a teenager, and now this?
I feel completely ripped off. I used to be a man of faith, and I don't even speak to him no more. I should be upset about that. Yeah, it kind of feels like something's after my family in some sense. So it's, as a father now, I'm always on guard. Everyone's an enemy. Everyone's after us, and just silly things, you know. It's hard to explain. It's done something to my mental health, I guess. Confidence is gone. I used to be really extroverted, but I tend to lock myself away now, so.
Four months on since Joe was found at Ripiro Beach, and still no charges have been laid. While police declined to be interviewed about Joe's case, there have been some significant developments, some of which have left Joe's whānau deeply concerned. Earlier in 2024, before Joe was killed, police appealed to the public for help locating an individual who was wanted on a variety of charges. They warned that he shouldn't be approached and to call 111 to report his whereabouts. Then in September, a month after Joe's homicide, police released CCTV images of a man they identified as the last person to see her alive, appealing for information. It's understood this man and the person of interest are one and the same.
We had already been doing our investigation on our own because the police weren't communicating with us at this point and we're getting really pissed off. So we're like, okay, we're going to do our own little thing. And so we had already seen his face beforehand and it was already a familiar face to us. They didn't even think to call us before they put the Facebook post up. We had to find out with everyone else. So after that had happened, I had called them up and I said, hey, look, that's not respectful. Like, we don't want to be finding out with the public. At least have the decency and respect to call one of us first, let us know, so then, you know, at least we're going to be alarmed and we're not going to stress out when we see something like that.
Police have confirmed to Mata that the man they were seeking on unrelated charges has been located, but wouldn't say anything more. What we can say is that this person has a history of violent assaults. We asked police if the man sought in connection to Joe's case has been located and whether he is the same man they were pursuing earlier this year. We also asked them why Joe's whānau has not received a copy of the autopsy report or been informed of her cause of death, and whether any covert surveillance has been conducted on her whānau. Police declined to answer these questions, stating the investigation was ongoing and urging the public to come forward with any information. Meanwhile, Joe's whānau are left questioning if she would still be alive if police had located him back when they were first looking for him. So, do you feel let down by the police?
100%, especially in that. Like, and we feel like they have been holding back on information because of who our dad is and who our mum's related to. And we just think that's unfair. We understand now and we've kind of had to take a step back. But we were like so angry with how they were treating us. It was a bit, you know, not nice.
With little information being shared, the whānau has no choice but to wait. What do you guys need in terms of being able to have some peace?
Some answers. Right now we have nothing.
That must be an awful place to be.
It is. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody, to go through what we're going through. It's hard.
How important is an outcome? How important is it for you, the whānau, to understand what's happened?
That question goes through my head every day. I know for the kids, peace of mind, you know, clarification, you know, because those are her babies. So for me, it goes a little bit deeper than that.
Annie too wants answers. In the meantime, she's focused on honouring Joe's legacy through the mahi she was so passionate about.
We have to carry on the mahi. It's something that Joe would want us to do, is to carry on. What will be served, but the mahi must carry on, especially in our communities. There are others out there who may need us, and she would want us to carry on to do that.
Looking at the camera, 3, 2, 1.
Today, the whānau have come together to capture some memories as they prepare for the anniversary of Jacinda's death and their first Christmas without Joe.
She's the main lady of all our events. She's always got everything sorted. So now it's a bit different dynamic when we don't have the main lady behind the scenes.
So Christmas is going to be a special time again?
I think last Christmas was hard for us because we didn't do anything for it. I was over in Aussie, so I wasn't able to be around everyone, so I kind of sat there and just cried the whole day, but I don't know. I just didn't think Christmas was good anymore because of what happened around Christmas. But this Christmas, I guess we're just trying to have a different outlook on it and kind of...
because that's all Mum
would have done.
I've been trying not to think about it, but I know I have to. Because Christmas was always her thing. She loved it. You know, we had so many beautiful memories together. And we never even had to leave the family home. You know, so the memories are limitless for our children.
Do you have one memory for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. The first time I looked into her eyes, I guess. Yeah, I knew I loved her. Didn't think it would last 21 years, but far out. That's like almost half my life. But she was my reason for getting out of bed, her and the kids. She was the reason I wanted to be so successful in my career. She brought a lot to the table and the table's gone.
Okay, what side are you going to put her on?
This one.
This side?
The table is gone, but the aroha remains. In death, Joe and Jacinda have been reunited and are back home.
Miss you.
Yeah.
Miss both of you.
It gives some comfort to their whānau, albeit bittersweet.
Everything we do now is for you, eh?
Mm.
It's going to make them proud. That's it.
It's wishes we're still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Te reo, te take.
Irirangi te motu, ka nui te mihi.